so pity the man who chops wood for himself alone. There is nothing quite like it, heading off into the forest with the snow still lying in patches around the trees, and the spring air thin and cold. You shrug off your knapsack, fuel your trusty chainsaw, and away you go. Easy does it at first. Start with the smaller trees to make it easier to get to the big ones. Get ready for the first joy of the year, one of those tall birches close enough to its neighbours to compel just the right degree of struggle in stretching toward the light, so that it stands there now tall and slender and white. Pull-start your chainsaw, set it to the trunk of the tree, and before long hear the great swish as the tree falls in more or less the intended direction. Turn off the chugging two-stroke engine, lift the visor of your helmet, and let the great silence embrace you as you stand in contemplation of a fallen tree that will, come winter, keep you in warmth and light. Nature is bountiful in so many ways, but the work of the woodcutter is always rewarded. For him, unlike the fisherman, the hunter, or the berry-picker, the fruits of his labour are guaranteed. Cutting wood is proper work, something people can do together, and there can be few jobs where the results are visible so soon after the effort has been made. Each tree is worth its weight in kilowatt-hours. Even the humblest stick can be used. It's like picking up small change. One day all those coins will add up to a note. It's a good feeling. You're not wasting anything. The trunk of some puny dwarf spruce will make welcome kindling on a day when December gives way to January. The outside thermometer shows -15 degrees Fahrenheit, -26 degrees Celsius, and the dishwashing liquid clings to the inside of the bottle. Where to work? Not many people have a timber forest of their own, but there is plenty of communal woodland across Norway accessible to the individual woodcutter, and many local authorities allow felling at reasonable rates. Nowadays, most forest land owners use logging machines, and over the last 30 years the number of those employed in the forestry business has fallen to half of what it once was. This development has left good openings for a woodcutter with a strong back, who is encouraged to thin the woods, or to cut in terrain that is either too difficult or too sparsely treed for the machines. A well-thinned forest helps the commercially valuable timber grow taller and straighter, so the contribution of the individual woodcutter is welcomed by the owner. Another option is to get permission to work alongside roads, close to power lines, the borders of fields, old pasture land, and along creek beds. Many forest owners will also allow private individuals to clear up after the logging machines have clear-cut an entire area. A lot of timber gets left behind in the process, tops and twisted or broken trunks. There isn't the same pleasure as working in a quiet timber forest, but there is less effort involved. Remember to leave the dead spruce and pine where they are. These are important elements of the habitat for insects and help preserve the balance of species. In thick woodland, most types of tree will grow taller and develop fewer branches than trees that stand relatively alone and get a lot of sunlight. These tend to be on the short side and to develop branches all the way up the trunk. For where space is at a premium, trees have to compete with their neighbours as they stretch toward the light. These features are particularly noticeable in trees that grow on steep slopes or in depressions. Tall, straight trees such as these make ideal firewood. They are easy to fell, simple to extract, split easily, and make sound structural elements in building a woodpile. Trimming twisted and thick-set evergreens, on the other hand, is hard and time-consuming work. The woodcutter is not interested in the biggest trees. Most kinds of trees, by the time they are between 20 and 40 years old, have grown to a size that makes them usable but still manageable. Trees older than that tend to be so big and heavy that it takes a lot of hard work to drag them from the felling site to the trailer.